So as promised, before I forget, I wanted to share with you a post, one of my community conversations from last year. Greetings and welcome back once again. This is Amuna. Basically, I say some stuff that make people go either or what, and over the years, it's gotten kind of lit in the comment section. But this particular time, I said, dear men, you are not her God. Thanks. Simple. Straight to the point. Well, their response. The response. When we go to the response section, let me go all the way to the top, just for you to understand why I formulated my thought process around there's a possibility that many, not all, position themselves as the God, and I intentionally put uppercase G, of the woman, right? In which they have the liberty to redesign, the liberty to reconstruct, the liberty to reassign her position, right? And we see that in the way in which society is made up of people, determines what the woman's position is, what she can, what she cannot do, and all of these things. It goes beyond her natural design onto what is desirable or undesirable towards the man. And the problem comes in is when the man is out of alignment with the creator, it makes him her God or her power as opposed to the creator, her power. So we have people like Brother Kevin who says, I agree with this, with that aside. So it's like quickly move on to let me ask you, what is he to her? If it was a hard agreement, there would be no need to push it aside that quickly. Literally in 3 words or 4 words. I agree with this. Push it aside. So this post wasn't about what is he to her. It was explaining that he's what he's not. But it's hard to sit in that uncomfortable truth. And so now this is the quickly of the moving the goalpost, basically on a conversation that really it was either yay or nay or I disagree and this is why. So this gets a long conversation into the part that he wanted to highlight. We have another brother who comes and wants when you use the word God, is your meaning Elohim? So they want to see if there's any wiggle room in there. We have few brothers who's just saying it's facts. There's nothing to complain about. And you go on and you have some of the sisters who are just like pretty clear cut. We all got to die because a woman didn't listen to her man. So then there's men who coming in and projecting his thoughts, nothing to do with the conversation. He may not be her God, so it's dismissive. It's like, okay, you got me there, and then I'm going to go on to something else. But he is a better decision maker when not being tempted. Again, like I said, it's not my first rodeo in discussion, and I could clearly identify where you've hit a nerve and people are uncomfortable in this truth and what it may mean, so they try to move the goalposts. We have some people saying facts. We have some people trying to prove why the woman is the issue. No, but we are made in the image of her God. We are God. She is too. People are like, huh? So as you can see, this was a funny one. People are all over the place. He's not her God, but and the thing is, when it goes on the other side and the woman is in an uncomfortable truth, the minute she goes for but is like, oh, you're always justifying, oh, you trying to shift the blame. But when it's done on both sides is my point. I've seen it done on both sides. I've done posts about women, posts about men, and anytime something is uncomfortable, we're gonna shift, right? Again, the men were mad, as you can see. Sister Kimberly says, Amuna, you and Mayana are at it again. And they already know when the community conversation goes up, the truth is going to come out, right? People are like using shame and guilt. They're sorry for women. This is a true statement. It's either factual or not. Uzziah comes and says, I can't believe you are getting resistance on this post. You made a very basic and fundamentally sound statement. This is baffling to me that folks cannot simply click, like, or love in agreement with the post. I'm literally over here scratching my head. You can't tell a lot of brothers think they are God. You can tell a lot of brothers think they are a God to their women. This is sad. And that was from Brother Uzziah. So people are looking on like, what in the world is causing all this upheaval? And it's the thought. Instead of saying I am, right? The thought is but, what, hip hop, what? And you can see that you've hit a nerve and you need to excavate that. You need to unpack that. You need to look at that and then see what it looks like and how it manifests in society. People are talking about Sarai called her Abraham Lord, and they start beefing over that for 89 comments. Now they're blaming me that the post gave the heathens ground to talk. I mean, this was a funny one. I'm sorry, y'all. They already know that I'm asking, why are we deflecting? Is the statement true or not? We have a hard time when the statement is true and it makes us feel uncomfortable, right? So, Vlad comes and says that the statement is true. He had no idea people could read an 8-letter post and make a PhD dissertation out of it. This is how we do, right? Some people is no lies are detected. What I don't understand is why men in this culture try so hard to rule, oppress, and dominate their wives instead of simply being her husband. This is the question. Men don't realize that when you treat a woman right, she will submit and treat you like a god naturally instead of being forced. And I don't agree with the uppercase God, but if your woman isn't submitting to you, maybe you should check the way you're treating her. Then have people are answering questions that was not even asked. It's a true statement, and there should be no bones about it. Because your sisters are out here acting as agents for the Matrix. I mean, what? I'm like, a simple statement. I'm going to go back to the statement. They said I was acting like agents to the Matrix. That was, and I asked, I said, not sure how you conclude that the women are against the men by stating an observable fact. Being for men doesn't mean she has to agree with everything said or suggested. And that goes to the video that I just shared about submission to a fault. So I don't just talk about this stuff on YouTube. I've been having these conversations for years to really get to have the men's input and women's input to see where the issue is. And then I asked the question, who else noticed that the original post doesn't mention husband or wife, yet many of us automatically assume it was there? And look how many comments we had to pass. So we have this bias that's already in our mind, like I keep telling people, that we filter what we see through. And even though the original post says nothing but about husband and wife, people automatically assume that I'm speaking about husbands and wives. And I'll go back to the original post in a minute. But this is just to show you how communication and miscommunication happens, right? Somebody says, absolutely, just her governor. LaDonna coming in with the madness. And yeah, it gets a little crazy for a second. And then somebody says she is his devil. What does this have to do with the original point? Dear men, you are not her God. Thanks. And essentially this thought that the man is the woman's creator or the woman is the man's creator because they are a part of the process, it makes no sense. Ultimately, the man did not program himself. He did not design the reproductive system. He did not tell how many sperms to be produced. The woman did not design her womb. It simply is within them. That means that the intelligence that goes beyond man and woman is the ultimate designer of creation. And this level of humility that is lacking in this discussion, and the presumption that because one may be assigned to govern or help facilitate order or programming with the earth means that they should jump into the seat of creator is the problem. So once again, that question was, dear men, no, actually it was a statement. Dear men, you are not her God. Thanks. And we saw all of the upheaval it caused, or all of the ruckus it caused. And that's something for us to look at and be like, okay, let's examine that thought, what it looks like, and the issues and problems that it can create within a relationship. So with that said, thank everybody for tuning in. This is Amuna. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll be back again.